Good evening to all my friends and family, all my young adults. Hey, it's good to be in the lab again. I got a great ETF that we're going to break down today. I want to bring this one up particularly today because SpaceX has just IPO'd and people's going crazy out there trying to buy that. I just refuse to buy right now. I want to let all the hoopla get over with. And then when that bad boy drop down to a premium price again, I'll buy it when I catch it low in the future. But I did run across an ETF that I want to bring to you guys today. Let y'all know that y'all can get the total bundle of great stocks when it comes to space by buying an ETF. And we're going to look at that. I'm going to break that down a little bit later in the video. But the company I'm talking about, the ETF I'm talking about, is none other than UFO. UFO is a space ETF. There is ETFs out there that isn't just investing in companies. It's in this particular ETF is investing in the future of humanity. We know that they're trying to put what, 1 million people on Mars. I don't know why they're trying to do that, but they're trying to do that. You know, they'll put 1 million people on Mars, but you won't take care of the people on Earth yet. That's just the only problem I got with it. But you know, it's all about the money. So I think that this is an ETF for uh, if you want to invest in the future, in outer space, and building on different planets. This is the one. Ticker symbol UFO. Okay, it's called UFO, the Procure Space ETF. And it's literally built to capture the rise of the multi-trillion-dollar space economy. Yeah, they put multi-trillions of dollars now in space. It isn't sci-fi. This is where they're starting to build out more satellites in space, rockets, space communications. Global imagination is big now. And the infrastructure that makes the modern world run will be done in the future in space. And UFO is the first pure play space ETF on the market. Yeah, this is the first one. And we're going to get into that a little bit later. We're going to break that ETF down. I'm going to open it up a little later to show you guys what's inside, what companies are inside this ETF. We're going to look at that a little bit later. But before we get into breaking the ETF down, I always like to look at the balance sheet, you know, balance sheet of UFO, what it actually has. Well, an ETF doesn't have a balance sheet like companies, but they do have a total net worth, and their total net worth is 924.5 million. That's as of June 26th. You know, and I always like to talk about hardcore cash. Well, ETFs holds minimum cash. They really don't really hold a lot of cash. They stay almost fully invested. Uh, ETFs is invested in. They're fully invested by stocks. stocks in the ETF. And we're going to look at some stocks that you could buy. Matter of fact, we'll look at the top 10 stocks in this ETF in just a little bit. But that's how they're debt. They don't have any debt. This ETF doesn't have any debt. They simply hold the stocks of companies. No borrowing, no leverage, no loans. So why do people ask about debt? Because the companies inside UFO may carry debt, but the ETF itself does not carry any debt. It's made up of stocks that's in the company. That's in the ETF. And you guys can get this at a premium price because like I'm gonna open it up in a little bit and show you what it was a year ago and then bring y'all all the way up to date right now since and let y'all know that y'all get this and start buying fractional shares or just start buying a share at a time. This is something that, I would try to collect about 100 shares of it and just leave it there because I believe in the future, if you can buy you 100 shares of this and fractional shares and leave it in there 5 years from now, you're going to make a whole lot of money. That's if you can wait 5 years, I don't know. Or you can just wait until it double, a year now, it'll double, or triple your cash and get out, get in, because it's going to take them a while to build out the infrastructure in space. Now, this is just my own personal opinion about space, okay? But this is a great ETF because I did look into it and I want to show you guys in a few minutes what's inside this ETF. The performance that already is going on in this ETF is enormous, okay? UFO's first year returns is 90.36. In the last 6 months, their returns is 96.07. This thing has been moving like a Fountain 9 booster. Yeah. Ever since this ETF came on board, it's just been blowing up. And right now, you guys can get it at a deep discount because I'm going to open it up and show you where you could have got it a year ago, where you can get it now. And like I say, just buy it low. Buy it low, put a little bit in your portfolio. It's not financial advice. Put a little bit in your portfolio. Keep buying it low for the next year. Try to gather up 100 shares of it. Okay? What does the Bears have to say about it, though? I always like to give you guys perspective of what the Bears have to say about it. The Bears say that space stocks is volatile. Yeah, space stocks are volatile. I have to admit to that because you're investing in outer world, galactic atmosphere ecosystem that's really, really starting to take shape right now since SpaceX has IPO. Okay. Uh, the Bears have to say that many space companies aren't profitable yet. I have to agree with that. Many of the SpaceX companies that's in this ETF is not profitable yet. They got to get there. They say that the concentration risks of the top 10 holdings is about 47.5%. Yeah, the top 10 do hold about 47.5% in this new ETF. It's a new ETF. Everybody's trying to get in, or a lot of young people that don't know about it, we're trying to get in early so that when it do start to run, we're already in position. This is why I'm not so much hung up on trying to buy SpaceX, the IPO that just dropped right now. You can probably get it for about $160. but I am trying to buy the ETF that's got the top 10 companies in the space area in it. That's just why we're looking at. The bears also say that they're high, they have a high expense ratio. Yeah, 0.75. And they say that the theme is a big risk. If, if the space sector cools off, they say that the ETF UFO would also cool also. And those are the bears' perspective on this company. And then I like to give you the bulls' perspective. The bulls say that the space economy is exploding. And the space economy is exploding from the way I can see because now they're starting to invest in satellites. Imagining GPSs, global brand broadbands. They're putting out there. Defense is starting to invest more in space. And commercial launches is happening now in space. The Bulls also say that SpaceX public de- put boosted the entire sector when SpaceX IPO, the whole sector got a huge boost because now investors are looking more into the future. And UFO added SpaceX as the top holder. Yeah, this particular ETF is the top company in the ETF, and that is UFO. The Bulls also say that global satellites demands is skyrocketing. Yeah, more and more companies is buying satellites and putting them in space. Companies more like China and India and Africa, they're starting to buy these satellites. And they say that satellites is skyrocketing. Communication is skyrocketing. Mapping is skyrocketing. And AI data and military intelligence is skyrocketing. A lot of things that's happening with the military will be taking place from space before we even go into war in the future. The Bulls also say that UFO is a original pure play space ETF. And they say that because it's the first one usually have the advantage when it comes to ETF. The Bulls say that it's a long-term play, but space is becoming the next internet level of the revelation that's taking on right now. So why should we be looking at this particular ETF? I'm glad you asked the question. I think why we should be looking at this particular ETF and putting it in our portfolio is because UFO is a commercial space travel ETF. We're now able to launch a rocket, travel into space, and then bring that same rocket back to Earth and land it. So travel from Earth to space is becoming more relevant. Okay? We need to be watching this type of ETF because satellite powered global internet. Yeah, satellite power will be powering the global internet. We need to be watching this ETF because space-based AI is being imagined in the minds of more young adults nowadays. And we know if we can imagine it, we could eventually conquer our imaginations and grow. Okay? We should be looking at a ETF like this because of the space manufacturing that's taking place right now. You know, these are some of the reasons why we should be looking at the ETF UFO right now because it's one of the first space ETFs. It is the first ETF, space ETF that's on the market right now. And you guys can get it at a premium price. We're going to go ahead and open it up real quick. Yeah, we're going to look at this. I always like to get into, uh, the charts a little bit. I like to take you guys back. I'll go ahead and punch in UFO right quick and open it up. Boom. Yeah, I always like to get into the charts with you guys. And as you guys can see, I always like to take you guys back a year ago. You guys would have got in this a year ago. You could have got it at, what is that up there? $67.81. Remember, I was telling you guys that this is a great time because the market is fearful. I've been looking at the fearful index, okay? A year ago, though, you could have got this ETF for $67.81, okay? That was just a year ago. But let's take it over here year to date. Now, a year ago was one full year ago. But now we go to year to date, okay, which was from January, and this is June 22nd right there. You could have got it, there it is back there for 67.81 a year ago. It started falling down. I think the Trump administration that came in, this was right after the Biden-Harris administration, and it started falling all the way down. As you can start seeing the trickle down. We're going backwards, okay, guys? We're going backwards from a year ago, and then we're gonna bring it all the way up to date. I want you to notice that trend though, how it started going down a year ago, okay? All right, let's go back 3 months ago. Boom, here it was at the all-time high again, okay? And we saw the crash all the way down to $51, okay? But we still gonna bring it on back a little bit because I'm gonna switch it around in just a little bit ago. Year ago, still falling, still falling. You see that? A year ago. This is 3 months though. We still see the trajectory down, okay? Boom, 1 month ago. I want you guys to notice how the mountain that was up here is now over here. So now I'm going to start bringing you guys on up to date. But there it is right there. That 67.99 was about an all-time high. 67.99 was still an all-time high. But as you can see, look at the trajectory all the way down. All the way down. That's 1 month ago, guys. And it fell all the way down to $49.80. And I want you guys to look at it. Boom. Trajectory is still going down. All the way down, guys, to 49.80. 49, that's just what was that, a week ago, 5 days ago. You guys could have got it at 49. Now, let's look at it. It closed June, what is this? 9th. It closed at $49.80, guys. That's where we are right now. You can get it for $49.80. Some $20, some $11 to $12 cheaper than it was when the Biden-Harris administration was in power. The Trump administration came into power. You can get it at a still now at 49.80 right now. I think this is a good place to start buying. Anything under 49, in the low 40s, go ahead and get this in your portfolio. If you believe in space, this is not financial advice. If you believe that space and AI is the future, I would be buying this ETF up because I believe in the next couple years or so, this is going to be one that really, really grows. Let's just go ahead and open it up a little bit so you guys can see what's inside this ETF that makes it exciting for us to understand. Well, we're going to look at right here. We're going to look at three sectors real quick. One is the industrial sector, which is 51.50%. The technology sector, which is 24.52%. And the communication sector, that is 23.94%. And if you guys go on Robinhood, you can open the sectors up and it will give you a definition on what the industrial sector say it is, what the technology sector say it is, and what the communication sector say it is. I'm not going to go into all that right now, but I just want to take the time out mainly on this video to show you why I think this is a great ETF to put in your portfolio. And the reason I think this is a bundle, a great buy for young investors that's looking into the future, is because of what's in this ETF. Yeah, these are the top 10 companies in this ETF. At the top, we got SpaceX. Yeah, the big dog in there. Rocket Lab, Garmin, AST, Space Mobile, Trimble, Sirius XM, EchoStar, Viastat, Planet Lab, and MDA Space. These are the top 10 companies that's in this ETF that we as investors need to be looking at. And then later on, probably a little later, I'll probably come back and start investigating these particular companies in the future. I'll start investigating these companies, talking about their cash flow, how much cash they got on the side, how much debt they got on the side, so we can start picking up and start investing in these companies personally for the future. This is not financial advice. I'm just breaking down this ETF to show you guys some of the things that I be looking at when I break down an ETF, so you as a young investor can make a better sound investment in your investment journey. Yeah, so I like to say to all my young investors, if you're 16 years old, download a Stash app or a Robinhood app on your mom's phone, hook it up to your bank, and start buying this ETF, UFO. $20 here, $30 here. Try to get about 100 shares and then leave it alone. You'll be very happy that you did this in the future if you start investing in space right now, okay? And if you're 18 years old, there's no reason why you shouldn't be in the game, okay? You have to be in the game to learn the game, okay? I say you guys, it's got over 50, 60, 70 videos. All of them is $1 billion companies. But every once in a while, I do break down the ETF to show you guys what's in the ETF so you guys can be better investors. This is not financial advice, but I just think that the ETF UFO is one that we need to be looking at for the future. Fractional shares, you can get it for under $50 now. And I say try to get you about 100 shares of this, and you're going to be sitting good in the future. All right, you guys, I love all you guys. It's been wonderful. I just like hanging out with you guys. I like sharing this type of information with you guys. UFO is the ticker symbol for Great Space ETF. I'll be talking to you guys soon. Love y'all. Love y'all bunches. Let's get on over here. All right.